Hi guys, this is Jiggy, a portrait and wedding photographer from the Philippines, and welcome to the channel. So in this episode, we're doing something different. I'm going to be teaching someone to shoot, and the person that I will be teaching is that girl over there. Her name's Mela. She's our makeup artist for today. And I want to teach her how to shoot proper portraits of her work. Okay? And she doesn't know it yet. Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Talaga?
Yes. You're the one
Yeah.
You're the one shooting. For the first layout, you're the one that's gonna shoot. Are you good?
Okay.
All right.
Wala
Because
na.
you see, the problem is Mela documents her work with an iPhone. Yeah. So Mela,
Yes, sir.
do you wanna do this?
Well, you surprised me already, so we're here. Might as well.
Yeah, and at least it gives you full control of your images, right?
Yeah, true.
Why is that? Actually, it's a question I've always been wondering.
Uh-huh.
It became a trend now in Philippine weddings that makeup artists take pictures of their work before handing the subject over to the official photographers. Why not just wait for the official photos from the photographers?
Well, for one, I think they want that immediate.
Okay.
They have the file right
Oh,
away
that's
that
true.
they can.
That's true. For social media.
Yeah, for social media,
Yeah.
everything's so fast right now. They want to publish it right away.
Okay.
So I guess they want to take control in that aspect.
Okay.
But on my end, I like sharing photos that was professionally taken.
Okay. All right.
That's
Yeah.
on my end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to teach you how to professionally take photos.
Well, hopefully
we succeed.
I get it.
Hopefully you succeed, yeah. So what are the things that you want to show in your makeup whenever you take pictures?
Well, you want to highlight the best features of the person. Like in terms of makeup, I'd always usually concentrate on the eye area.
Okay.
Usually, I think that's the best feature of almost anyone, no? But yeah, I like focusing on the eyes a lot.
So your colors, how about the colors? How do you choose the right colors for your, let's say, the eye?
Well, you have to also look at the natural eye color of your subject.
Okay.
Right? But most Asians tend to have brown.
But she's
hazel
not
eye.
Asian.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Okay.
I know. But mostly, you know, mostly like for the Filipino market,
Okay.
you have mostly brown, dark brown eyes.
Okay.
Yes. In
Okay.
terms of skin tone, because usually Caucasians have pink undertones in their skin.
Okay.
Asians tend to have more yellow.
Okay.
So, in terms of your base, it's different already.
All right, perfect.
Playing with their eye shapes is
Okay.
very interesting. Also, like Alice has gorgeous, really deep set.
Yeah, the deep
big,
set eyes,
deep
yeah.
brown.
So what are your thoughts about those photographers now doing all those filters on your work?
Well, it changes it. It's
Okay.
not as pure
Okay.
as because everything nowadays
Everything's filtered,
photoshopped.
yeah.
Everything's filtered. But
Well, no, not everything. I don't filter.
okay,
I don't
but yeah,
filter.
but majority.
Majority.
Majority would either filter or
Yes.
would Photoshop.
Yes.
It's a given. Anything that's
Yes.
published is Photoshopped or
Yes.
filtered.
Yes. Obviously, Photoshop. I can
Yeah.
totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But for filters, I think it changes the image and the feel of the makeup.
So it basically destroys your colors.
Well, yeah, and you wouldn't be able to see how the real colors of the makeup.
Okay. So
that
at
you
least
wanted
this
to
one's
see.
perfect. So now, that much work that you put into your makeup, you can now take control and shoot it yourself and bring out the colors that you intended it to be.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Photography background
0.
0, as in 0.
If you consider watching you and observing other photographers
Okay.
and experience,
Okay.
then maybe that. But other than that,
Nothing. So
Nothing,
you've never
0.
really played around with a professional camera.
no.
Okay. So this is gonna be your first day, first try.
Yes.
And you're going to be using one of the cheapest cameras of Sony,
Okay.
the Sony A7R Mark IV.
Okay.
No, this is actually the flagship model of
Okay.
Sony.
Okay.
This is the best portrait photographer's camera.
Okay.
Okay. Now, are you familiar with ISO, aperture, shutter speed?
No.
No. Okay. Basically, just to give you the gist of it, you have an exposure triangle.
Yes.
The exposure triangle, it consists of your shutter speed, your aperture, and your ISO.
Yes.
So you have basically 2 ways or 3 ways of controlling your proper exposure.
Okay.
The nice thing about these cameras, though, is that you can already see how your
Okay.
exposure is. It's just like your cell phone,
Oh, okay.
right?
Okay,
Your cell
okay.
phone, you could see if it's underexposed or overexposed.
Yes.
With this camera, you see the same thing.
Okay.
So you have your shutter speed and your aperture. Let's tackle it one
Yeah.
by one.
Okay.
Your shutter speed basically controls your camera shake, your camera movement, your subject movement,
Okay.
and your aperture controls the depth of field.
Okay.
So you've heard about the term
Yes.
bokeh,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
So the lower your aperture or the lower the number, the more bokeh you're going to get.
Okay.
The higher the number, the more you're going to get everything in focus.
Okay.
So when it comes to portrait photography, sometimes you'd want to blur out a lot of things and you just want to
Yes.
focus
Yeah,
on the
the
face.
face, yes.
That's why this is the portrait lens. This is the 8514.
Okay,
Okay. Though in this area this might be too long, so we might use also the 5014
Okay.
from Sony. These are both from Sony.
Okay.
Okay. So
So,
your aperture controls your depth of field.
yes.
Your shutter speed controls motion,
Okay.
and then your ISO controls the sensitivity of your sensor to
Okay.
light.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Got
so
it.
all those three work together,
Uh-huh.
but you don't really need to know all those
Yes.
things. All you have to do, for me,
Okay.
this is a shortcut way of doing it. Put your camera on aperture priority,
Okay.
so that you can just control the depth of field.
Okay.
Because that's all you need.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And let the camera set its own shutter speed.
Uh-huh.
And you put your ISO on auto ISO.
Okay.
And just let the camera set its own ISO. Okay?
So the camera will do
the
its
camera,
work for
yeah,
me.
the camera, it's the same
Okay.
as your cell phone.
Okay.
It's basically like that.
Okay.
And this is your winner. This is your clincher.
Okay.
This is called the exposure compensation dial.
Okay.
If it's underexposed, all you have to do is move this one,
Okay.
and you'll be able to see it
Already?
change. Yes.
Already.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So if you want to make it overexposed or underexposed, all you have to do is click that, and you can see everything.
So it's like
It thinks
for
basically all you
camera
have.
for dummies almost.
Basically, yes, almost. Okay.
Almost, okay.
So all you have to do is worry about composition.
Okay.
Okay. The last thing that you have to consider
Okay.
now, since you're so particular about the color,
Yes.
you have to set your white balance.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, white balance is the skin tone.
Yes.
All right. So to set the white balance, all you have to do is go to your white balance settings, and then
Okay.
probably go to Kelvin here,
Okay.
and you adjust it accordingly. So now it's per taste.
Okay.
There, look
got
at this.
It, got it,
To
got
be
it.
honest, look at her feature with a
Yeah.
warmer tone. It looks
Yes.
fantastic,
Yes.
but it doesn't give justice to your makeup.
Yeah.
It changes the color of your
Yeah.
makeup. So I would go on a more neutral tone, which is I think this
Yeah.
one, 4300
Yeah.
Kelvin. Look at that. Look how
Yes.
fantastic she looks. Look at it, and then adjust this one, the exposure compensation. See what's happening?
Yes.
All right. So now it's going to focus. See? All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Probably move back a bit.
Yeah, you can move back a bit there.
Uh-huh.
So now you're analyzing. The reason why this one looks good is because the light is coming from here.
Yeah.
So even when you're shooting, you can now control when you have these lights with you.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to shoot in front of the light or behind
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yes. So you could play around with that. So basic rules of portrait photography. You never
Really
cut
good.
on the joints.
Yeah. Joint. Yes.
Okay.
No.
So if you're gonna do a headshot, you never cut on the neck.
Yeah.
Your camera angle should always be at least eye level or higher. You go up higher to make them look thinner,
There, yeah.
but you hardly shoot from below
Okay.
unless you want to give strength.
Okay.
Okay? Before you even shoot, take in all the other elements. So even before you hold this, okay,
Yeah.
you train your eye first on what looks good.
Okay.
So what do you see?
It's the one at the back.
The patterns.
Yes.
These patterns are what you call leading lines.
Yes.
Leading lines in photography is what leads your subject's eye to what you want them to focus on.
Yes.
All right. So you could use that.
Yes.
So you like the contrast of colors.
Yes.
So those are the things that you have to look at
Uh-huh.
also. You like it? Why? The blue and the gray would contrast beautifully on her.
Yes.
Plus she's wearing black, so her face stands out.
Yes.
Okay. Now we're shooting this at what? 1.4.
I think so. Yeah.
We are shooting this at 1.4 so that you can separate her from the mess of the
Yes.
background. So the mess we can create into something beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, so try it now.
Can you move your the one your hair? Yeah, that one. Put it to the back. There you go. There you go.
Very nice. Now, here's my question. Do you like the exposure?
It can be brighter.
So now, what do you
Yeah.
do?
So
here,
this one,
yeah.
right?
adjust it to make it brighter. No, you're making it darker. So the other way around.
Okay.
There.
Too bright.
Okay, your taste. Okay,
Can you tilt your head? Yeah, that way a little bit.
look at your lines. Straighten out your lines.
Can you give me a hint of a smile?
Yeah, be careful of your headroom here on top.
Uh-huh.
This is one shot I know I really like doing, is that I would use this one as a
Yeah.
background. And then when you sit down, don't sit down too much on the edge. There. All right, perfect. Now cross your legs. Just cross your legs and then lean towards me. Yeah, perfect. That's it. So Mela, by doing that, look at this. We're getting all the light from the back.
Yeah.
But we want to control it. We don't necessarily. All you have to do is do that.
Okay.
Your exposure compensation on how you want it to look like.
So basically, you just move the exposure compensation.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's it. Compose that way, then you can then go in closer. Look at this one.
Can you put the hair in front at the back? The one in front. There.
Yes, that's it. There you go. Now that's too much. Put a few strands in front. There. Cool. Perfect. And then your arms this way. Good. Some more. Then put your arm over, this one over. You see it, Mela?
Yeah.
So now you could use that light and all the existing light to create one good clean headshot, which is like that.
Okay.
But you see, her eyes are deep set.
Yeah.
So we might need a little bit of light here in front.
Yeah.
So we'll bring in the R4 again, the Phottix R4.
Sure.
So now visually you could already see
Yeah.
the balance. Mark, stay here. It's opening up her eyes now.
Yes.
Right? So there's a distraction here. Remove this one. Very nice. Here, try taking a few more shots. So compose it the way you would want to compose it.
Close your eyes, Alice. Or look down, sorry. There you go.
See, now she's shooting for makeup. I was shooting as a portrait photographer, now she's shooting for makeup. So if you're going to shoot for makeup, you now get a tighter lens.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, okay.
Because if you go with a 50 millimeter and you go in close,
Yeah.
you're going to distort her
Yeah.
face. Okay? So you need at least an 85 millimeter to go in close, or this is a Sony 135 1.8
Wow.
fantastic lens. Look at how tight you can get. You're cutting at the joints.
Yeah.
So you move back, move back, move back. There. Good. Now look at that. Right?
Yeah. Chin up a little, Alice.
And then make it face you.
There you go.
Now, Alice, chin this way. There. Okay, then eyes straight to camera. Remember, focusing point. Focusing point.
Sorry.
Your focus should always be on the eye, but this is a Sony. It's always going to be on the eye. But if you decide to use another camera, that's not going to happen. Look at how beautiful that shot is. Now, show it to her.
Okay.
All right, so thank you very much for your time. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as Mela and I did. Okay, all right, Mela, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Alice. All right, that's a wrap. Next.